tell me, who is Ldre the Giant?
Ldre the Giant is me. So yeah, people are always trying to kill people over here, man. That's why that's like the problem. Everybody's trying to kill somebody over here. It's annoying, bro.
Yeah. Trap or hip hop?
Man.
So have you always had this work ethic, or is this something that you've built up over the years?
Oh man, I'm like, if you were to talk to my mom right now, she'll tell you that I am the laziest kid ever. Like, you have to switch your mindset. That's what it's all about. So like, and they were just talking so much shit about me, like.
And you know, Defiently said, just wanted to say what's up.
What's up, yo? Defiently is my guy. Like, he's one of the first. He's the first person I ever did a collab with on Instagram.
Welcome to another episode of Music Career Podcast. Today I'm interviewing Ldre the Giant, who is a great producer, produced songs with Simon Servida and much more. He also serves frequent beat videos on Instagram and makes music production videos on YouTube. Welcome, Dre.
What's up? Glad to be here. What's happening?
Yeah, it's good. I'm just gonna, we're just gonna jump right into the questions. I know you have so much value to give. I love your beats and all of your videos. So we're gonna jump into it. And so tell me, who is Ldre the Giant?
Ldre the Giant is me. So pretty much, I started off as a rapper when I was like super young. That's all I ever wanted to be, was a rapper since I was a kid. So yeah, my dad's name is Ldre, so I was always Ldre. So then when I started rapping, my mom coined the name Ldre, so that's what I've been going by. But yeah, I was rapping for like a really long time. That's how I built up the first part of my like following and stuff like that. I was doing shows for a while, stuff like that, but I just didn't really care for it. I didn't like doing shows, and I like making songs and stuff. But then once I started making my own beats for my songs, I kind of realized I like this more. So then, I got out of college. I got out of high school. I didn't want to go to any regular college, so I just went straight to a school for music production just because it was either that or like nothing. So I was like, all right, I'll just go there, learn how to, develop my skills more. And yeah, once I got out of college, that's when I started going in on the beat videos on Instagram. And then, like a year or two later, here I am.
Yeah, so what's it like? You told me that you were an artist from the beginning. You wrote songs and made songs for that thing. But were you ever on stage and stuff like that? Were you on stage doing gigs?
Yeah, I did a few little shows, like small shows. They weren't much. Like, I didn't really care for it because I had like no fans. I had a small following on like the internet, but like as far as shows, it was like those weird shows where like you have to sell tickets in order to get in. You have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and then when you get there, it's just a bunch of random people that have no idea who you are. So I did those a few times, and it just wasn't my vibes. Didn't really care for performing.
No. Were you ever afraid of going up on stage? Like, because I felt I've been in a metal band and I've had some kind of stage fright or something in that manner. But did you ever feel like it was scary to go up on stage?
Yeah, 100%. I was definitely like nervous. The first time I performed, like I don't know, I guess it's called cotton mouth. Like my mouth was just really dry, like super dry. So I'm like performing, and then I just kind of had to stop a little bit. Yeah, it was horrible. The whole experience was just, I didn't like it at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really hard of them. So you told me like your journey started being an artist and stuff, but what happened then? Like you told me that you watched a few like beat videos on Instagram. Did that inspire you to do what you do today?
Yeah, so pretty much right out of, like I said, I was rapping. So right out of high school, when I was going to college, when I chose to go to college for music production, at first it wasn't for music production. I was just going there. It was for music production, but I was going there to learn how to make beats for me to rap on. But then throughout my experience at college, I realized like I don't even want to rap anymore because, you know, I don't know, I guess the audience wasn't there. I guess I was kind of discouraged because when I dropped songs, they weren't really getting any love and stuff like that. So then, you know, I was just on Instagram, and then it got to the point where I would just be posting like random videos every now and then. I wasn't consistent. Like my account was just dry. It was dead, barely anybody on there. So I would see, you know, like guys like Lakey Inspired, or like there's a few more people that were really killing it on Instagram at the time. So then once it got towards the end of college, I was like, all right, well, college is over. So I need to figure something out because I know like it's not the easiest job to try and like make money off your music or to get known, especially as a producer, because nowadays it's usually like, you know, the artist is in the forefront. So yeah, I don't know, something happened and I just decided to just go hard and I started making beat videos, me on the camera doing this and that. Pretty much like Lakey Inspired. He was like the main motivation at the time. Also Beats by Jay Black. He was around too. So yeah, I saw them too. I'm like, all right, cool. I should start trying to do this. So I started doing it. I was doing it like every day at first. Then I slowed down to every other day. But yeah, pretty much when I started doing that, people started hitting me up to buy beats. So I started selling beats, and then, you know, my following started growing. And that's when I really started seeing success. So then I was like, all right, screw rapping. This is working for me. This is my thing now.
Yeah, because I mean, you're huge on Instagram. What was there something in like was it something specific that made you choose like I'm gonna choose Instagram like instead of like doing just Facebook videos or doing YouTube? Was there like, oh, I'm gonna pick Instagram because?
Well, so my story with Instagram is kind of weird. So I've been on Instagram since it started. So like I downloaded Instagram because I was just trying to find filters to like put on pictures for like Facebook and stuff, because that was when Facebook was the thing that everybody was on. But back then I wasn't really doing anything with my life. Like I wanted to be a rapper. I was doing stuff every now and then, but I mean, I was in high school or even younger, just doing, you know, random stuff, living life. And then so yeah, when I started building my following on there, also on YouTube, but like not doing tutorials or anything like that, I was just dropping like videos, like music videos or just music on YouTube. And I started developing a following on there. That was like a whole different account. But over time, like I was doing all the crazy stuff on Instagram, like just follow for follow. So doing that, I got to like 16,000 followers like in the beginning of Instagram, because back then it wasn't really any restrictions. So I would literally be following like 1,000 people like every couple of days. So every day I'll just be getting followers. But then after a while, like I realized, okay, these are just a bunch of random like random kids, just random people. They're not listening to my music. They're just following me because I followed them. They're not liking my posts or anything. So yeah, I got off Instagram for like a solid 3 or 4 months. And then when I came back, still had 16,000 followers, but I would be getting like 100 to 300 likes, which for me looked bad because I used to get like 1,000 likes per post and stuff like that. So yeah, so when I came back, and then those 3 months in between, my Instagram died. So when I started doing the producing stuff, I was like, all right, I already have this account that at least looks good because it has that K on it. So I'm like, all right, so I need to do something with this because I already have something. Even though like they weren't really active, but you know, there was still like a few hundred people that would still like all my posts. So I'm like, all right, this is where I need to put my energy. And it worked that way. So when I started doing the videos, I think it helped me out a lot because I already had that little following. So people would see me and then they'll be like, oh, this dude has a lot of followers. Let me see what he's doing. So, but then once they see what I'm doing and they like what I'm doing, they're like, oh, this is cool. They follow me and they keep, you know, they keep with me. They like my posts and all that type of stuff. So that's pretty much how that went.
So, because I've seen a lot, you know, I'm on Instagram every day. I'm trying to find out what people do, what kind of music people do. Just trying to talk to people and react to what they're doing on Instagram. But there's a lot of people that I see, they have a lot of followers, but the interactions are like really low. Do you think that they started like early like you with something, or do you think that they bought their followers?
It's a mixed bag. A lot of people bought their followers. You can tell if they're still doing stuff like me, or like they're doing things and they have like a whole bunch of followers and their engagement is like super tiny. It's kind of obvious. But like there are a lot of people that were like me, to where like even back when I was coming up, I had friends or people who would have like 25,000 followers and they were killing it. But at that time, it's like if you stop, then people just stop looking at you. So like I had a friend, he had 25K. He got off Instagram for like a few months and he came back and it was just like same deal as me. Like he was barely getting any likes. I don't know if it's the algorithm. If you get off Instagram for a certain amount of time, when you come back, maybe Instagram just blocks people from looking at your stuff like that. So that definitely happens for people who've been on it for like a really long time. But a lot of stuff nowadays just seems like it's just all fake, which is kind of difficult now because I guess they're getting rid of likes and stuff. So that's going to be really challenging for people to know who's legit or not. But yeah, I don't know. It seems good so far. So.
Well, do you have it like you used like that was like in the early days, people used this follow for follow or like for like and stuff like that worked because people used it because it was interesting to that hashtag was like on fire. It was interesting because you saw so much different stuff. But nowadays, what kind of hashtags would you say is like really good for producers out there? Should you find your own style of hashtags, or are there some that you would give as an advice to someone trying to produce music or just trying to be an artist?
Honestly, it's really random these days. But even when I did start producing, like I was still doing follow for follow. Like I was, but I was just at the difference was now I was just following a bunch of people in the community. So it's like, I know you're probably familiar with like the Gary V, like I forgot what it's called, but the method where you go through hashtags that are relevant to you and you just follow, like, and comment on their stuff. So yeah, once I heard that from Gary V, I started doing that, like going crazy. Like I was following a bunch of producers. Like I'll probably follow like a few hundred music related people at nighttime, like commenting on their stuff, like while I'm just in bed. And then every morning I will wake up with like a bunch of new followers and a bunch of new, DMs, people talking to me and stuff like that. But the key with that is like, no matter what hashtags or no matter what method you're using, is you have to have good content on your page first. So it wouldn't have worked for me if one, I already had like a high amount of followers, and two, I had a bunch of videos already that I was doing and it was good stuff. People liked it. So when they see that you follow them, they look at your account and they're like, oh, this dude has a lot of followers. Oh, he has a lot of good content. I like this. I'm going to follow him.
Yeah, because I think you're on point there really, because the thing with hacks, because I mean it's like how to hack followers, all that kind of stuff, but the hacks is only as good for you as your content is good for others.
Yeah, 100%.
Like if you have good content, yeah, because that's really cool. So what would you say to a producer like trying to make good content out there, like on Instagram today? What kind of advice would you give that producer?
Number one would just be to show yourself. So I actually made a video on YouTube, it's like a 25-minute video showing you exactly how I make my beat videos for Instagram, like step by step, the beat making, filming part, and the editing. I lay it all out for everyone. So it's like, you can watch that. And I would say that's the first step, is to start no more like just recording the laptop, stuff like that. And not just your hands either. Like people just want to see you do stuff. Like people want to have like a personal connection because everybody's fake nowadays. So it's like people want to know that you're a real person. So that's the first piece of advice. And then second would be one thing I wish I would have done. So well, let me start it off. The second is to be consistent. But one thing I wish I'd done starting off is like, if you have nothing going on right now, what you can do is spend like the next month or however long and just one, get better at making beats, and two, just make a bunch of videos. Like you can spend the next month every day making beats and making videos. And then so you'll have like, if you make one beat video every day for a month, that's 30 videos. And you don't have to post every day. So take a month, create content, and then just start slowly posting it. So next month you post every other day or 3 times a week. And then while you're posting, you could also be making more so that you have no choice but to be consistent. Like that's something I wish I could do. But since I'm already at this level, I'm pretty much just chasing the days. Like it'll be 1 a.m. I have to make a beat and a video to post the next day type of thing. But if you have nothing going on, spend some time, make some content, and then just start slowly posting it for as long as you want.
Yeah. So what kind of you said that I'm gonna link your video down in this YouTube video as well, like in the interview video. But what kind of editing tool do you use for your videos? Because I talked with Ldre and he edits all his Instagram posts and videos on his phone. What do you use?
I use Final Cut Pro on my Mac. So yeah, that's just what I'm comfortable with. But you can do this if you have a Mac. You can do the same thing with iMovie. Like that's free. You can do the same stuff that I'm doing on there.
Yeah, because I use the PC's Final Cut Pro. It's called like Filmora. It's about the same price range. I guess it's about the same utilities. But I mean, it's like when you pick your DAW, I think you have to just fool around with a few and see whatever fits your like whatever fits you like will work.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just whatever you can master yourself, whatever you can spend time with and get comfortable with. It doesn't matter what you're using. It's just once you learn it, you got it.
Yeah. So what's your biggest inspiration in the music business at the moment?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
My main inspiration right now, I guess, would be to just keep building myself to, because like I said, I still have a day job. So pretty much I work a 9 to 5 from Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 6 p.m. And that just consumes so much of my time. So pretty much my goal right now is to just make enough money off of my music that it's like double what I make there, because I still live at home with my mom and I'm like supporting my family and stuff. So I want to make double that before I decide to quit so that I can still like move out from my house, but also still help support my family here. Because if I were to move out, they probably wouldn't be able to, afford rent here and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my key inspiration, is just fixing my situation up. But yeah.
So yeah. So where is your what's your 9 to 5 job?
I work at it's pretty chill gig. Like I work at a clothing line. I pretty much do like marketing and e-commerce stuff. So taking photos of the clothes, putting it on the website, like Shopify and all that stuff. And just, Instagram, Facebook ads, running stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you get that through your social media, or was that another job that you just had before?
Yeah, I had it before I started like going hard. It kind of came at the same time. Like once I graduated college is when I started going hard, and once I graduated college, that's when I got the job. But pretty much, man, I got the job so randomly, and it wasn't even supposed to be what it is. It was like I was on Craigslist looking for jobs, and it said I was looking for something social media related, like or photography, because I have a background in photography. So I saw that. I thought it was just going to be the e-commerce taking photos of clothes. That's what it was listed for. But then when I got there, over time, I just started taking on all these new responsibilities.
Yeah, cool. So there's this question that everyone is asking me to tell all the producers or all the people that I have on the show, and it's like, how do you network with artists and producers? But you told me before that you spent like a bunch of hours every day just looking up hashtags, finding people to talk with in the music industry. But how do you how do you network with, like, if you want to try to find an artist for your beat? Do you do that, or do they come to you?
Well, as far the way I did it, I'm big on personal brand. So the way I did it, I just built myself up to be in a position where people reached out to me. So what I was telling you at first, that wasn't me networking, like going through hashtags and stuff. Pretty much that was just me trying to get people to see me, so I could build my following. So I wasn't reaching out to like bigger brands or anything, or I mean, bigger artists or people that were bigger than me. I was just reaching out to anybody who was in the same field as me so they can like my content and become one of my followers. But yeah, as far as networking with artists to work with, I don't think that's very hard, but you just have to have good beats and you have to be like, for me, it's just building myself up. So you build yourself up, people are going to come to you. But if that's not your main focus and you just want to work with artists, then yeah, just start reaching out to them, like sending free beats. Like it's not really it's not a big issue to send free beats if you want to work with artists, but you just have to have good beats. So
yeah. So what you said, like, or no, actually, how do you work with artists today?
Today, I rarely do. I don't know. I've kind of switched. Like I started doing like the lo-fi stuff. So pretty much I just been like releasing my own music as, instrumentals on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff. And that's been doing pretty well for me. But I do plan on reaching out to artists and working with them. But I have a few like homies and friends that I work with that are artists, but that's not, anything crazy. But I already knew them. So if they want to beat or we want to work, I bring them to my house or I go to their studio or something and we just create some stuff. Like with Simon, Simon had reached out to me a long time ago. And we did like a regular collab where we did like an instrumental, but then he flew out to LA, he hit me up. So linked up with him in the studio and made that song.
Yeah. I listened to that today. Actually, I think it's really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't rap anymore too, so it's kind of crazy. Like we went to the studio and we were working on the beat, and I was like, "Should I rap?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "All right."
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so I was just like, "All right, screw it, I rap again."
Yeah. Awesome. So it's not like a thing that you will do in the future. Like, will you do more rap on tunes?
Yeah. I definitely plan on doing that. So pretty much like I had like a whole world domination plan. Kind of like, are you familiar with Aries on YouTube?
No. I'm bad with names.
He's like one of the main YouTubers that like I started watching. Like there's a few people that are like, I don't know, kind of pioneers with the whole YouTube thing, like Pat Ryan, Aries, Ramzoid, Chris Poncelon, and all those people. So pretty much like he was doing his own artist thing before, and then he started producing, and then he built up a huge following on YouTube, and then he started going back to the artist stuff. So that's kind of similar to what I'm trying to do. So I was an artist at first, and then the producing was really working out for me. So I built this following, and then eventually I'm just going to start doing my own music as well. But yeah, just been trying to get the numbers right. I try not to focus on the numbers, but I definitely just want, because when I was rapping before, the reason why I stopped, because I was discouraged by the numbers. So now that I have a bigger following, that's when I'm going to start doing like songs.
Yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
So what's your view on community groups? Like they do, a lot of smaller producers do these community groups where they boost each other posts to get through the algorithm, I think. But what do you think about these community groups?
Yeah, I used to be in a few of those. Yeah, that was another tactic I was using. Pretty much how that works is just you get into a group of people and then you just comment on each other's posts, because I guess apparently how Instagram works is if you start getting comments and stuff right away, then they'll deem your content as good and they'll show it to more people through like the algorithm. So yeah, I definitely was in a couple of those until I didn't really need them anymore. But yeah, that's somewhere you could That's definitely a tactic. I'm not sure how well it still works, but I'm sure it does. Like, you can always benefit from comments, especially if they're going to start removing likes. Comments are going to be like more important than ever.
Because the feeling that I've got is like, it just feels, I know that it's a hack and we do it to reach out to other people, so the comments themselves aren't the thing, but I just feel like, if I'm in a group, like if the comments isn't real and I feel bad because of that. Do you get what I'm feeling?
Well, it also depends on the group. So like the first group, I actually started it. So the people, I didn't just get random. Well, I did get random people, but they were all cool producers, and we didn't just do that. We also like would talk about, you know, just other things. Or like I was in another group at the time. I was like way smaller. I wasn't really selling beats, so I got into this producer with like a few bigger producers, and they'll be talking about like their sales for the month and stuff like that. And man, that shit was crazy back then because I was selling like no beats at all. And then they'll get in the chat. They'll be like, oh, how's everybody doing this month? And they'll be like, oh, I made 1,000 this month. Oh, I'm close to 2,000 this month. I was like, yo, what? I'm in the group with these guys, and they're over here talking. I'm like, yo, I made $20 this month. So, so back then that was like but that was also, it was an engagement group. That's how I got into that group. They brought me in, and then we just comment on each other's posts. But they would also like share tips and gems and stuff on how they're doing their sales, or, you know, collab and then stuff like that too.
That sounds really great, because I've been in a few. I'm not saying that they were that the communities were bad, but I just felt like everyone just posted their beats. Like they posted the beats, they liked your videos, but there weren't no communication, and there were like we didn't talk about stuff like in the music. So I jumped that train, but maybe I'll jump on it again. I'll see.
Yeah, I mean, comments are definitely important. So even if it doesn't really matter like how you feel towards it, because it's just a method that is supposed to work for you. So even if it's just, because I remember like there's a really desperate way. So it was like I think it was like a Facebook group. Now this one was weird. It was like really random people, like not even music related. It's just a bunch of random people. So I did that for a while, and that is how I did kind of feel that way with that. But at the same time, it's like still comments. So it's like they'll comment something related to it, but they're just random. You click their page and it's just like turtles or something. Like, you know, it's just random.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're just gonna jump off the serious question just for a second, and I'm just gonna give you some fast questions, and you just answer the one. You just choose one of the top. You just choose one of the options.
Okay, let's do it.
So I'm just gonna go. Trap or hip hop?
Man. And I have to choose one of them?
Yeah.
Is it what do I prefer to make, or what I prefer to listen to?
You just have to choose one, the other goes away.
Oh, they go away forever?
Yeah.
I guess hip hop then. Yeah. I love trap though, I really do, but hip hop will remain supreme.
Yeah, okay. A$AP Rocky or Jay-Z?
Oh, A$AP Rocky for sure.
Yeah. Death metal or K-pop?
Death metal.
House or country?
House.
Europe or the US?
I mean, I live in the US, but I'd rather be in Europe probably.
Yeah, okay. A Grammy or a Grammy award or a Nobel Prize award?
I'm gonna take the Nobel Prize. That's kind of hard.
Yeah,
that's different.
Yeah, yeah. So let's just wrap it up here. Yeah, you chose a hip hop before trap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me a bit about that.
I mean, no, that's just because I had to, but because I feel like hip hop includes like boom bap and lo-fi, which is like the main thing I do. Well, not the main thing I do. I prefer R&B over everything, to be honest with you. But yeah, hip hop is just trap. I feel like it's a really huge wave, but eventually it'll slow down. But it's even hip hop, they're putting trap elements into their beats now. So it's kind of all the same at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I love trap though. I really do. Like I just the vibes. I don't care what they're saying. Like Lil Baby, Gunna, like they're all so fire. But I don't know what.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like it's really hard. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. So ASAP Rocky, that was a easy one for you.
Yeah, I don't really. I never listened to Jay-Z. Like I never really cared for him. No disrespect,
Yeah.
obviously. Like he's like the GOAT or whatever. But like my main growing up, all I listened to was Eminem, 50 Cent. Those like that's it. Like at some point I had an iPod, like the iPod Touch, like the first generation iPod Touch, literally only Eminem music. That's it. Only Eminem songs. There was no other music on there. So if you were to say Eminem or Jay-Z, like Eminem is definitely top dog when it comes to whatever. Yeah.
And death metal or K-pop?
Death metal is hard. Like System of a Down, that's probably like my favorite metal band. Chop Suey and like all their random weird shit that they be doing, but it's also like super hardcore. I really like that.
Yeah, I love them as well. So house or country? You chose house?
Yeah, I don't really listen to either, but house, like I like house remixes. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Austin Mills. That's my guy right there. He's like a DJ, like Selection and all that stuff. They mix a lot of house stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. So Europe or the US? You rather live in Europe, you said?
I don't know. I've never been out of the country. So, but the US is just like, as far as like politics go and all that stuff, man, it's just a mess over here. Like, I don't know what's going on, but everybody wants to come here. So I guess it's good. I don't know. What is your perspective on it?
Uh, I was. I've been to Fort Lauderdale and Miami, and I like the US, but it's the parts that I were in were a bit like there were only big roads and stuff, and we went to like Universal and stuff. So I couldn't say that I got the picture of US because I mean it's so big and it got so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it feels like when we went there, the security were so rough, and maybe I'm just a pussy, but I felt, you felt like I felt like a terrorist when I was in America. Like there was so much security checks and security controls, and you had to do this and that.
Yeah, people are always trying to kill people over here, man. That's why. That's like the problem. Everybody's trying to kill somebody over here. It's annoying, bro.
Yeah.
But it's like then again, like in other countries, like they're really killing each other. So I got to be grateful. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of places like in Europe are like more peaceful. Like I'm a chill dude. I live in LA. LA is the place to be for producers. But I'm trying to get out of LA. Like I want to go and chill. Like I want to go to fucking New Zealand or something. Like something just chill. I want to go to New Zealand and like build my own house and just live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my dream too as well. Me and my girlfriend has been to New Zealand once, and we're going there this winter for a month, and we just live in a tent. It's like awesome. It's like the best thing ever. So yeah, you should really go to New Zealand.
Yeah, definitely. That's somewhere I want to go. Top of the list.
Yeah, you just take a car and you can tent like, and they have like these tent places where you can just wrap up your tent and you just open your tent in the morning, and it's like you see the like what's it called, the Lord of the Rings backgrounds are everywhere. Like yeah,
that's
it's like really awesome.
It's beautiful, man. Yeah, I just be looking at it I follow a bunch of like world accounts and like so like architecture and world accounts together, and then so yeah, I'm really into like architecture and stuff like that. So I really like how like houses are like designed out there and stuff.
Yeah. A funny thing was like I told my last guest Larry O that we were in New Zealand, and then we were going to not swap planes, but we were going to get off the plane, get into the same plane, and go through customs. So we got so we had to have a visa for just being in the LA airport.
Yeah.
So we like, so we went there and we took our fingerprints and stuff, and then my girlfriend's visa didn't check in, so the security guards took my girlfriend, and I had to go to the plane on my own.
No, what?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So I just sat there like nervous. I was so nervous, and then they managed. So she got through, but. I like when we did that. I just told her like I'm never going back. Never.
I feel that. Yo, somebody just took my girlfriend. I'm out of there, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
That's wild.
So yeah, but the thing is, you told me like LA is the place to be when you want to make music or anything that like in the artist world, like painting or whatever. Like LA is the place to be. But the thing I talked with Ed Talente was like you can do it from he's in out in the bush in Italy, like.
Yeah, shout out to Ed, that's my guy.
Yeah. But you don't really need to be in LA, like.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because I mean, I haven't utilized being in LA at all, really. So everything I do is on the internet. I have no kind of. I have a few connections that I've went into studio sessions with and met people like that, but that hasn't really been my focus. But if your focus is to get placements with big artists, then yeah, being in LA is like a good decision. Because as far as it works, like sending beats out just doesn't work that much at all, really. Like even I've had big artists hit me up to like, well, not big artists, but bigger than regular. They'll hit me up for beats and then, it just never happened. But if you're in the studio with that artist, then it's just going to happen. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like Atlanta or LA is like the places to be for music right now, for sure.
Because I mean, there's a lot of network events, I guess, in LA, but you said that you haven't been to many of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Cymatics one. It's probably about to be my first one. I've always been like an introvert, so like I just don't care for people. Like I have like 4 friends tops. Like it's just my girlfriend and like I have like 4 friends that have been my friends for like ever. I don't really have any new friends, except for like one friend I made in college, but that's it. Like he's my only other friend. So yeah, I don't know. I don't like. That's why I went the internet route, because I just don't like human interaction. And
I get it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's the beauty of the internet, man. Like you don't have to. You're just chilling in your house. So yeah, if you're just trying to sell beats online, or if you're just trying to make music, you could be anywhere in the world. It doesn't even matter at all.
Yeah. We live in a like glorious time in the little planet Earth.
Yep. Well, as far as internet goes, but like the climate's going to shit. So, But yeah, as far as music and stuff, we're living it right now.
Yeah. Okay, so Grammy Award or Nobel Prize, but you would have the Nobel Prize, so you would go to Sweden and get the Nobel Prize.
Oh, I didn't even know if that's in Sweden. That makes it even better. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I want to win a Grammy, but like, what's a bigger flex? A producer with a Grammy or a producer with a freaking Nobel Peace Prize? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
That's that's a better story too. Like, picture me in my mansion. There's like, I have my little award thing, and there's a freaking Nobel Peace Prize. Like, yeah, you just went to somebody else's house. They got Grammys, but I got a Nobel Peace Prize. Man. Like, I'm changing the planet, my guy.
Yeah, what you gonna do?
Yeah, like what's up?
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm just gonna jump into the bigger questions again. So what do you think, what is your thought about music awards? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Definitely not a bad thing. I don't know, like, but people don't really watch TV anymore, so I don't watch the award shows anymore. But back in the day, it definitely used to be a big thing, like getting with your friends or your family and like sitting around the TV watching these award ceremonies and like tweeting about the results and stuff like that. But now it's like I just go to Twitter to see the results and that's it. Like I don't really care to watch the actual shows. But I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely like the BET Hip Hop Awards just because of the ciphers. But you can see those on the internet now too. But as far
Yeah.
as winning awards, it's still cool. Like I don't, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you don't win awards, like who cares?
Yeah.
Like if somebody like Leonardo DiCaprio just got his Oscar, like
Yeah.
that tells you like these awards are like just fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. For real. So, what's the weirdest thing that have happened to you in your music career?
Weirdest thing. I mean, like I said, I'm just on the internet. So I haven't really been in a bunch of weird situations. I definitely get a bunch of weird, just random people hitting me up and just being weird. But let me try to think about that. Um, yeah, nothing really. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, tell me about how it is for you. Like, how many DMs do you get every day, and how many like weird ones are there?
I mean, the beauty of Instagram now is you have the whole request, and now you have the primary and the general folders. So, oh man, there is this one person that I don't want to say because I know like they're big fans and I know they're gonna watch this. So I'm like,
Mm.
but they just would literally just DM me every single day, random memes, just anything every single day, like for the past like a very long time. And I just don't want to block this person because I feel bad because I know they like my stuff. So it's like I don't want to prohibit them from consuming my content. But yeah, that my DMs are pretty wild. I respond to a lot of DMs, just not all of them. But I definitely do respond to a lot of DMs. It's just hard to respond to them, or I might see them and then I'm about to respond, but then I just don't and I forget about it or something like that. But I definitely see like the majority of the DMs. But a lot of them are just some of them are just lame. Like I like if you really want to for just like a advice, if you want to get somebody's attention, I'd say the best way is just mention them in your story. Like no matter what, that's the first DM I'm looking at is mentioning
Yeah.
me in your story because who knows what that is. I'm really curious to see what that is. But if it's just like literally, yo, what DAW do you use? Like I answer that, but it's like I answer it so much. It's like, bro, or what is the beat pad you're using, or just random questions that are obvious. It's just kind of annoying.
But don't you have like on your in your bio link like my equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a
Yo,
tab for that?
bro, people comment or DM, they're like, what's your YouTube channel? Or like
Yeah.
I'll literally post a video and I'll have the swipe up link and they'll be like, yo, where do I find that video? I'm like, yo,
Okay.
swipe up on my story or go to the link in my bio. Like, bro, I have so many links. Everything you need is there. Where can I find this song? Bro, search
Yeah.
Ldre on Spotify. Like, do you really want to find the song or do you just want me to
I
respond to your comment? I don't know, bro.
yeah,
It's
I
just,
think they want to talk to you.
yeah, a lot of it is like, but
Yeah.
I always come respectfully. Like, I never talk trash. Even if you're talking trash to me, I always like hit you back with like something nice. Like, that's just not in my character. So, but yeah, a lot of it is just, oh man, it's just a lot of nonsense and
Yeah, I get that.
spam.
I really yeah, you know, my first when I saw you making your beats, you were like in the beginning when I saw your beats, I was like um oh man, like this guy is like tough and hard. That was my first impression.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yo, the funny thing about that is, if you ask any of my friends that, they're gonna just die laughing in your face, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like a
Yeah.
teddy bear,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, because I feel like when we're talking, like you're really genuine and a really nice person. I can really feel that. Good vibes.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. So, what's your best tips to producers and artists trying to build a career at the moment?
Well, first thing, just figure out what you're trying to build. Because one thing that is messing me up currently is I'm trying to do too many things at once. So it's like I have selling beats online, putting out like lo-fi beats and music for streaming, YouTube, Instagram, and also I want to start like getting back into rapping and creating songs and working with bigger artists. So I have all these different things, but And I have my clothing line, I'm a table, coming soon. So I have all these different things. And since I also have a job and I also have a girlfriend, it's hard to distribute all that focus. So it's like a certain element is going to suffer. So like 1 month, I'm going hard on getting music out for streaming. My numbers are looking good. But then my beat sales are suffering. So then I'm like, all right, so I'm going to go hard on the beat sales. And then that does better. But then now my streaming numbers are going down. So my best tip would be to focus on something specific and yeah, just go hard at it. Just stay consistent. Everybody says stay consistent. That's like the number one thing. And people, it's a cliche now, but it's true. Honestly, like I'm just a regular ass dude. This is what I say all the time. I'm a regular dude. Like I literally just started posting every other day and building a following. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
So, so like the thing with being consistent, because I can see like you see posts like people like, you know, consistency is the key, and you go into their like Instagram and you see like last post was 17 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but so what's your goals this year? What's the goals for Ldre this year?
So here's the thing. I had a goal of a certain amount of money I wanted to make by the end of the year. Oh, my bad. And I already passed that goal like this month. So that was cool. But yeah, so recently I just found out I've been like getting reached out to by more brands and stuff. So like, let's say this month I made more money off of like YouTube and branding stuff than I made off of my beats, which is like never happens. So it's kind of like now I'm kind of switching my focus. Like my Instagram is good. My numbers are good. Every time I post something, if it's a good video, it's going to do good regardless. So right now my main focus is YouTube. So yeah, I've been posting videos on YouTube 3 times a week, trying to build that up because that's like the most monetizable platform. So where I went wrong with Instagram, the problem with Instagram is people don't click out of Instagram. That's like the main problem I am facing now. So, you know, I have all these followers, but out of the thousands of people that watch my story, it's a very tiny percentage of people that actually swipe up on the link. So that's my main focus right now, is transitioning into YouTube, because once you blow up on YouTube, then it's a wrap. That's when, because YouTube actually pays you. So like I've gotten paid for YouTube and I only have 6,000 subscribers. So like, let's say like so I've gotten paid 3 times from YouTube so far because I just got accepted like 3 months ago. But yeah, first month I made $100, and then the next month I made like $140. And that's literally just from me uploading videos. And I don't have a big following on YouTube at all. Like my videos get still below 1,000 views. So I'm still trying to build that up. But in the meantime, I'm still making money off of it. So that's like my key focus right now.
Yeah. So we're you and me, we're both in the same situation almost, because I work a 9 to 5 job as well. You do that. You make music. I make this podcast. I make music as well, trying to learn how to produce. But I just want to know, like, how many hours a day do you put on your work?
So it's really all about scheduling. So it's like the way, especially, so now I've been getting like really drained lately. So ever since I started the YouTube schedule, because like a month or 2 ago, my YouTube, I would just try and at least get a video, 1 or 2 videos up every week, but I wasn't consistent on the days. So I realized, all right, I need to do better at this. So now that I'm doing 3 times a week, I used to post on Instagram every other day, but now I put them together. So now 3 times a week on YouTube, 3 times a week on Instagram. And I just try to make those videos coincide. So pretty much I get up, I go to work. Once I come home, I like cook dinner or something, eat dinner. And by like 8 o'clock, I'm just going straight to work. So I'll make a YouTube video, making a beat, and then I will make the video for Instagram. And then I would try my best to edit the entire video all night until like it's already 4 a.m. And yes, I've just been doing that like every day, or like I make a video one day, edit it the next day, and just keep on that cycle. So I don't know exactly the hours, but I just know that at least from like 8 to whenever I go to sleep every night, I'm working.
So have you always had this work ethic, or is this something that you've built up over the years?
Oh man, I'm like, if you were to talk to my mom right now, she'll tell you that I am the laziest kid ever. Like, I'm so lazy. Well, I was. So pretty much that's when I made the switch. In college, I was still lazy. Like, I always felt like shit because I would just go home and I'll just watch Netflix. I'll go to sleep. I'll just chill. I'll probably make 1 or 2 beats, like shit. Like, I'll probably make like 5 beats a month. Like, I just was really lacking at it. But then I had my friend, his name is Big Kid. Well, he goes by Oliver, his name now. And he's like, was my only friend in college, really. But he was like a super sick producer. Like, I'm telling you, like, he's like one of the best producers I've ever seen. And he has like placements and stuff. He was in college. He's from the UK. He already had like placements and stuff. So I would always be talking to him, hanging out with him. And his work ethic was just crazy. Like, he came from London and he was on like a limited visa. So for him, it was like he had no choice but to just work. So he was always making music, always in studio sessions. And then, yeah, so just people like him is also inspired me. But at the time, looking at him grinding, it kind of just made me feel bad about myself. So I was just like, damn, look at him. I'm not doing shit. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. So I was on like a camping trip or something. And I forgot who I was with. I was with like my mom's boyfriend at the time and like my god brother. And they were just talking so much shit about me, like how lazy I am, how I always have excuses for things. And then I was like, you know what? You guys are right. I was like, it is my fault. Like, I do have time. I just have to make the time. Because I used to complain, oh, I have to work. Oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have school. But they just kept talking shit like, no, what do you do when you go home? I'm like, oh, I eat and watch TV. Like, no, like, you're being dumb. You have used that time to work. And I was like, damn, y'all are right. So pretty much whenever that was, a switch flipped in my head. And then, yeah, I just started going hard. And once you start doing stuff for a certain amount of time, it just becomes a habit. And yeah, so now it just is what it is. So when I come home and I work, yeah, and I'm super tired, it just doesn't matter because I have to put a video out the next day. Like, I have to. It's just in me. If I don't, I'll feel like a bitch. Like, I was like, damn, I suck. I couldn't do it. I'm the worst. That's how I'll feel.
Yeah.
I'm like an overthinker.
Yeah, that's really cool, interesting, and really inspiring for me, because I could say that I was almost the same when I was a bit younger, because I worked, I got home, I played the computer, played computer games like World of Warcraft and stuff like that.
Classic.
And didn't do anything. And I also almost every day complained about not having time to do stuff.
Exactly.
But instead I was, But yeah, my switch was this April. I just if I'm ever going to make music, like make a career, or gonna make music, to do that as a 9-to-5 job, just making music or doing stuff like in something in that genre, that I felt like, I have to work every day, every single hour that I can get from every week. I'm gonna try to make that into a working session. I'm really gonna try my hardest. At least I've tried in like 5 or 10 years, when I feel like, at least I tried.
Yeah. So pretty much it's like the switch for me, you have to switch your mindset. That's what it's all about. So like at that time when I made that switch, that's when I started getting into Gary Vee. I was watching all his videos and just listening to him speak and just motivating how he talks about how you just need to get the fuck up. He's always cussing, and I love that. It's like, get the fuck up. Yeah. What are you doing, dick, laying at home? And I'm just like, fuck, you're right, bro. Like, I ain't doing shit. So that's when I started reading. My friend that I was talking about from college, he put me onto this book called The Secret. So that really changed my mindset on how like the universe works, and it's all up to you. Everything is up to you. The universe works for you. You just have to have the right mindset and put out the energy that you want to be put back into yourself, pretty much.
Yeah.
And complaining was a big part of that I had to stop doing. And even now, if I complain, I just have to realize like, yo, I'm doing good. Like, no matter what, you're always gonna have like a little bit of self-doubt lingering around. But it's like you just have to take a step back and be like, yo, I'm doing great. Like you just know that you're gonna get there if you keep working.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I'm just gonna drop in a small question before we go into the listeners' questions, and I'm also gonna call a guy, but I'm just gonna ask you. Give me one piece of studio equipment that you can't live without.
Boom.
Yeah.
The Akai MPK Mini 2, man. They need to cut me a check. I've gotten them so many customers like, yo, Akai, if you're seeing this, I don't need a check. Just like, let's set up a giveaway together or something. Come on, my guys. But yeah, this is the main piece of gear that really gave me my start. But I mean, obviously my laptop and stuff, but really, if you're a producer just starting, all you need is this, a laptop, and a DAW, and like maybe some headphones or something, or just like some ear pods, because that's what everybody's listening in. So
yeah, that's really cool. So I'm just gonna jump into the listeners' questions, and Ed Talenti said, just wanted to say what's up.
What's up, yo? Ed Talenti is my guy. Like, he's one of the first. He's the first person I ever did a collab with on Instagram. So we've kind of just been like growing together this entire time. And yeah, like he's my guy. So shout out to Ed.
Yeah, shout out to Ed. Benjamin Blake, he asks, how do you grow your account and find artists to work with? We already talked a bit about this, but let's just wrap it up. Like, how do you grow your account and find artists to work with?
So a condensed version of that would just be, I actually just did another video on YouTube, how to get your music heard. So I would recommend watching that to everyone, because pretty much I go through all the ways that have worked for me. But pretty much you just have to figure out something that works for you, stay consistent with it, and either one, they're going to come to you, or two, you just reach out to them. It's that simple. All you have to do is be like, if you really want to work with artists and your beats are good, you just have to send them. Here's one tactic that I talked about in the video. Don't just say, hey, check out my beats, let's work. If you really want them, take like a little video clip of a beat that you think will fit their sound and send that to them. Be like, yo, I just made this beat with you in mind. If you want to rap on it, just let me know. Let's work.
Yeah.
Come in.
Yeah,
What? No, go ahead.
Yeah, just be a bit more efficient, because like if you send a link and stuff, they have to click through things. If you send a video, it's just like one click and you hear the beat.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I also say in the video, just make sure your account is already good. Like, I get DMs and somebody's like, yo, I'm an up and coming rapper, blah, 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 blah. Check out my stuff. Can we please work? And they're being sincere. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll check this out. I go to their page, nothing. No, just pictures of them. And like, they'll have a picture of the album cover or something like that. Like, that's not going to work. I'm not going to click the link. Just let's keep it a buck. Like, I'm not going to click your link. Just have a snippet of your song somewhere so I can hear it first, and then I'll decide to click the link. Because it's a hassle to go outside of Instagram. Just keep it in Instagram. Show me the music first. I want to see that you're doing cool stuff before I decide to move forward with anything.
So I make rich art screams out networking. So your best tips for networking as a small producer, we talked about this, but let's wrap it up again. So what do you say?
Networking, it just, like I said, it depends on like where you are and what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to build up with artists, the best way to work with bigger artists is to be there. So be around, get into studio sessions somehow. Like, I honestly don't know. Like, the only way I've gotten into studio sessions is like friends I've met like in college or something like that. But like, as far as online, just start reaching out, but just make sure, no matter what, just make sure your branding is on point, make sure your account looks good, make sure you have good content, and then you can start reaching out to people. Just always make sure you're set, like make sure you're interesting enough for them to want to, one, respond to your message, and two, move forward with anything you want to do.
Yeah. So Harry Sharon C, do you have any tips for making music for movies, composing background scorings?
I actually learned a little bit of that in college. I definitely want to get into that more, but I don't really have any tips for it. I would just say get on YouTube, watch tutorials, or just sit down, watch a movie, and just they have. If you go on YouTube, you can find movies without the sound on it, without music. So just search up a movie and put no music, and then just get your piano or whatever and just start messing around with it.
Yeah, yeah, because I reached out to him. I wanted to know exactly what he wanted to get out of the question, because he said, like, you know, I'm trying to put music on this video, but I'm not really getting it. It doesn't feel right. But I guess that's just I would just say practice. But what
wait, videos or movies? Like,
yeah,
his own videos or something?
No, I think he means movies. I asked him if it was movies. Yeah, so I guess it's movies.
Okay.
But let's say it was videos. What would you say then?
Yeah, for that it's like it depends on the video. Like if you're talking about like vlog style videos, or if you're trying to make beat videos or something like that, it's as simple as just lining it up with the actual, clip you do. I don't know, vlogs, if there's any tips for that, I say always edit like to the beat. That's what I like to do. Like each cut is on a drum, or a kick or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure if that answers it, but there you go.
While we wait for Alessandro, I'll just ask you, like, go through like how you make your music, like how do you start, like what's the usual setting for you?
Well, it also depends. Lately, a lot of my videos, I've tried to do, my music, I'm trying to do it for a video specifically. So, and I'm also trying to be quick because it's like late at night or something. But pretty much like depending on the beat, if it's like a lo-fi boom bap beat or something, I like to start with like the hi-hats and then maybe get some more drums with it. And then I'll get a sample and chop the sample on top of the drums. And then I'll develop it further. But yeah, that's like my go-to way of doing things quick. Hi-hats, drums, chop a sample, bass, and then fleshing it out. So that's how I'm doing it right now. As far as like R&B and trap, it's just random. I'll get a melody going, or somebody sends me a melody, or I'll download something from Splice, and then I'll just start getting the drums together and just building it out.
Cool. Like you talked about Somatics before, like do you use their samples a lot?
Yeah, more so recently, but because their Cobra Pack, that it's really good. Like it's fire. Like in the past, sometimes, but way back then, when I first saw them, it seemed like they were mostly doing like presets and like Serum presets. So I wasn't really using them back then. But more recently, yeah, I have been.
Okay, Alessandro is here. Alessandro, can you hear us?
Hey there. Yeah, guys, I definitely. I can hear.
Yeah. So we just wondering, can you just give me a really small bio about yourself, and then ask you a question to Ldre?
Sure, absolutely. Actually, first of all, thank you for having me. Been a great fan of Ldre actually from like almost a year. A little introduction. I'm Alex, or Alessandro. I'm from Italy, and actually I've been producing for like 4 years. I've been a session drummer for like 10 years, and then when I was 24, I just turned like my life around and also my music career. So basically, I decided to start producing. I started with EDM and more electronic kind of stuff, and then since like a couple of years, I started making beats for like just friends, and then from 6 months, I decided to go go full time on Dr. Aiden, which is my alias, and that's it.
Cool. So, what's your question to Ldre?
Yeah. So I'm curious to ask you this, since I've also already asked Ed, by the way, at Talenti, this same question, and I'm actually keen to know like your opinion on this. So as a starting out, like sometimes I see and I feel that there's not enough space like for up and comers, you know, like for upcoming producers, and especially for like how can I say it? Like I see a lot of rappers like chasing free stuff, while I think from my personal view, there's a little bit more room on the producer side. So like, what's your view on that? Like, what do you think about it? Like,
I mean, everything's always like pretty saturated. It just depends on where you're deciding to grow. So are you talking about like Instagram or like YouTube?
I mean, on the like business side, like if you want to like sell your beats or your kits or your lessons or whatever, you know, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as far as that goes, like me personally, I don't sell that many beats. Like I feel like a lot of people think I do, but I really don't. Like I make most of my money from just everything I do. So like music streams, YouTube revenues, sponsorships, and beats. So that's how I make my money. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I built myself up as a brand. So I'd say it's really just all about personal branding first and foremost. So, but I mean, if you get into like some type of Google, or, I mean, Facebook ads course or something, like that's definitely like one of the most valuable things we have right now.
Yeah.
So no matter what, if you can just go hard on ads, like if you have a nice budget to work with, you can definitely set yourself apart, but you just need to make sure you're doing something interesting. Like I feel like as far as I go, when I was coming up on Instagram, like it wasn't that many people doing it. It was a couple, but pretty much everybody who was doing it at the same time as me starting out, like we're all pretty much like in there. Like we're at good levels. Like Ldre, me and him pretty much started at the same time. Apps and apps, like that was somebody I was also coming up with. So like we're all prominent, but I feel like we're all regular dudes. Like I'm a regular dude. I just happened to start doing it at a certain time, and I was doing it consistently. So that's how I started selling beats, just posting videos on Instagram. I wasn't really thinking about selling beats. I was just posting videos on Instagram, trying to build myself up as a brand. And then people started reaching out to me, trying to buy my beats. So I'd say like the most important thing is just branding. So even if you, let's say you start getting good with the ads, you just have to have made cool ads or like have something, you know, some type of platform already developed first.
Yeah, okay. And actually, how about like networking as an up and comer? Like how would you, or if you actually did, approach like rappers or other producers who want to sell your kits to, you know?
It all just depends like on your focus. So are you just trying to lease beats to people, or are you trying to make songs with people? So if you're trying to make, like for me, I'm in a position where now I'm about to eventually start switching my focus into actually just creating good songs with people, not really focus on just selling the beats. So for that, I mean, I've already built myself up into a position where if I DM somebody and say, let's work, they're probably going to answer just because they see that I'm already doing something. But if you're an up and comer, like I said, you just got to build yourself up into a position. Like it's still possible. Anybody could start, you know, like if you're familiar with like Simon Servida, he just recently got into it. Like he blew up out of nowhere kind of, but he came in at a time where it's like, everybody's saying it's too saturated. Like there was the top people, Aries, Ramzoid, Pat Ryan, Kyle Beats, and then he just came in out of nowhere like a few months ago. So it's like, it's definitely possible. It's just the way you approach it. So as far as like reaching out to artists, you can reach out to any artist. There's a bunch of people, but if it's just some random artist, then you just have to make sure, one, they're good, you believe in their sound, and just send them free stuff. Like, it's all about building the connection. No money talk, like, at first. Like, all the money stuff, that's really, if you want to just build relationships with people, you just got to stop thinking about money, I guess. And then, it'll come. Like, that's how it worked for me. I wasn't really thinking about money. I knew eventually I was going to have to make money off of it. But at first, like, I just started doing my own thing and people gravitated towards it.
Yeah, because I'm just gonna jump in. So, Alessandro, what's the final or big goal for you with your music? Is it to earn money by doing music, or what's the big goal in the whole picture?
No, actually, like, I just started like even getting into music because actually it was like the only thing that makes sense to me, like to the 14-year-old me, basically. So, it kind of saved my life during some periods, when I was playing drums. And because I grew up in a very, very small town where there was nothing to do except drugs, alcohol, and I don't know, killing each other. Yeah. So basically, that's why. But like, my questions to that I made today were like probably the most kind of cliche ones, just because maybe we could have had like discussed them a little bit, in a more common way. And I will definitely open up and talk more when we are going to do like our interview.
Yeah, sure.
But to sum it up, like I think my end goal is just to be, just like to get better, to know more people, to get in touch with like every artist possible, to build my career, to build their career maybe. And, actually, yeah, of course, like financial freedom is probably a goal of mine as well. I believe like making a living out of what you love the most, like it's the best thing ever. And so I'm not so like money focused as I could have looked like, because I've asked these couple of questions.
Yeah, I get you. You wanted to more get a conversation out of the questions. But I thank you so much for the questions, and we're gonna do a thing in the future, and it will be awesome. But we're just gonna wrap it up here. So thank you for asking your questions, and see ya.
Yeah, thank you for your time, and great day.
Yeah, keep grinding, bro.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Yes,
bye, guys. Cheers. Bye.
Awesome. Okay, so that was all the question for today. It was a true honor to have you on the show, Ldre. Really valuable question. I'm sorry for the time just ran away. I'm really sorry for that.
Yeah, it's all good. I just realized too.
Yeah, so it was really good. We're just gonna wrap it up. I just want to say thank you. Go check out Ldre stuff on YouTube, on Instagram, on Spotify. He makes fire every day, so go check that out. And thank you so much for being here, Ldre. See you another time.
Yes, sir.
Bye.